James, a boy whose lifestyle was branded to be an American soldier at heart, a ranger to the bone, became one of the highly ranked and efficient soldier in the force. He was unfortunately discharged due to the use of drugs he took to suppress pain from an injured knee. Honorable discharge without pension and health care.
You're leaving the Army with an honorable discharge, but you're losing your benefits, which include your pension and health care. Dismiss.
With a lot of pressure to support his family, he took a contractor job of which he had very little information about, helped by his retired friend Mike.
He says you're the best he's ever worked with. Yeah, he taught me everything I know.
On the mission, Rusty the boss deploys Mike and James as well as 2 other discharged ex-soldiers. Initially, the ex-soldiers were told it's a data heist job. Bioterrorism information. The ex-soldiers tactically forced their way into a lab believed to have the data and biochemicals. In the middle of the operation, they were instructed to terminate the research scientist and burn down the lab.
Codex.
All the way?
All the way. Industrial accident. We got 5 minutes. Bag the laptop, lose the cuffs and hoods. We were never here.
Before the scientist was exterminated, he told James about the work he was doing and where his work backup data was, with the hope that James will do the right thing. The words got to James, and he started to have questions about the whole mission. A security breach alarm was triggered, and the local police were en route to the location. The ex-soldiers had to shoot their way out, avoiding capture at all costs. Only James and Mike survived the escape. Mike sustained a gunshot but lost a lot of blood. James, being the noble guy he is, gave Mike a blood transfusion to keep him alive. James and Mike now had to complete the mission by delivering the data to Rusty.
You go, I'll catch up.
When Mike gained consciousness, James claimed he could not move and needed more time for his bad knee to recover, an excuse to buy him some alone time to retrieve the scientist's backup data by himself. And so, they agreed on a place and time to meet. James' rendezvous with Mike does not go according to plan and he grows even more suspicious of the mission. He then contacts Rusty, the boss, for a possible extraction and demands an update on Mike before he follows through with the extraction plan.
Confirm location. Hey, stay with me. Confirm location.
I'll do that when you brief me. I'm off too.
Rusty believed James was highly likely to compromise the mission because he was exposed, and so he attempted to have James terminated, but the highly trained ex-soldier escapes the plot.
What was your mission? Extraction. Terminate after pickup.
James went ahead and retrieves the scientist's backup information. The information gives James a clear picture of what was going on, and so he decides to go after Rusty.
Unfortunately, there are powerful people who ignore science, even subvert it for their own personal gain. Yanis, in your hands is my life's work. A vaccine for the H5N1 virus with a mortality rate of 16%. It may have landed me in this chair staring into this camera instead of your eyes. But I want you to know that your father stood for something, created something that with your help will benefit humanity long after they've shot me down. It is very important that this vaccine is available free to the public, should the unthinkable happen.
With the idea that his friend Mike was terminated, as cleanup, he surprisingly discovers he is still alive. A little confused, James confronts his friend and learns he also knew very little about the plot to have him killed.
Rusty said...
You know he was coming after me?
He said you didn't make it.
Why did you lie to me? After everything we've done, everything we've been through, I fucking bled for you! And this is what I get! There's only one way this ends.
The friends team up and goes after Rusty. On their rogue mission to save James's life, Mike loses his. James ultimately shoots and kills Rusty, and the world was saved, at least for now.
Die with my boots.